Minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentlelady from Florida for yielding. And this is one of these privileges in serving in the United States Congress to come to the floor and join together as a state delegation, an entire Iowa delegation, to celebrate a life so well lived as that of Dr. Norman Borlaug. And I believe all of us knew him in some capacity or another, and we'd certainly watched his career. And I want to say this about Dr. Borlaug. First, he did go to school at the University of Minnesota, and for my Minnesota friends, I can't even imagine what it would have been like if he would have had a full Iowa education. That's part of the banter that goes back and forth across the state lines. And he was also an NCAA wrestler, which is something that goes along with, I can't imagine if he'd actually wrestled for the Hawkeyes, what that might have been. However, where are the Aggies today? They've got some bragging rights too. Minnesotans have bragging rights. Aggies have bragging rights. Dr. Borlaug was in the faculty at Texas A&M for 20 years. And they all deserve credit for helping shape the life of Norman Borlaug, his birth and his upbringing in Iowa, his education in Minnesota, his faculty involvement in Texas A&M, and his global reach upon starting the Green Revolution. And as a couple of members have said, save the lives. Not just start limited from hunger, but save the lives of 1 billion people with a B. Dr. Norman Borlaug swept aside the fears of the Malthusians and proved that this planet will produce a lot more food than was previously imagined, and that was before we got to this point of some of the genetic tools that we have within the laboratory today. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that you cannot overemphasize the impact of Dr. Norman Borlaug's life. And he is a treasure. His life and his commitment is a treasure for the entire United States, for all of us. And I join Mr. Latham, and I believe the Iowa delegation, in calling upon the state legislature and the governor of Iowa to request that his statue be placed in the United States Capitol where it most rightfully belongs, and it would stand there in good stead with any other statue from any other state in the entire United States of America. A life well lived, and we're here celebrating that life of Dr. Norman Borlaug. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back to Nelson.